Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Playing a chess game against a player from Finland with a decent rating, but I'm not so sure how good he is exactly. I'll go for the trusted Caro-Kann, as I have in most games of this league, but maybe we'll see e5 another time. Maybe a funky Sicilian. Going for the exchange variation and then the pawn of attack, just like the last game. Let's see what will happen. Because if he plays knight f3, then I go for bishop e6. Okay, this is also a variation, of course. There is an interesting move, queen a5 here. But the main move is taking on c4, of course. Wait, was g6 possible here? Now I've confused myself a little. Oh, there is a sharp move, knight e4 for sure. But was it possible to take on c4? I think it was. Yeah, I'll do it. As far as I could remember, this is the theoretical move. Which takes for main line, and taking on d4 with the queen was not possible, but I wonder why. I guess the initiative after knight b5 is just too great. So we'll go for h6, which is the theoretical move I remember. And after bishop h4, I think then you can suddenly take on d4, which is a bit interesting. I wonder why. Maybe because the queen is threatening the bishop, so then white has to take on d4. Okay, e5 is the theoretical move. f4, then bishop g4 is the main line, but knight f3 is also playable. Pawn takes e5, bishop takes d1, yeah, that's good, so we'll play knight f3. I will take with the bishop and play rook c8, because that's what I remember as the theory. Rook e1 is not theory, but now I have to refute it and find out why it's a bad move. Because this move I haven't ever looked at. Rook c8 is a tempting idea for sure. If g5, then rook takes e5 is good. I think rook e1 is a bad move, because it's not the move I remember. But it doesn't have to be a bad move, of course. Knight c6 doesn't look too kind. I like the way rook c8 looks. Then after rook takes e5, I'll play bishop e7. Yeah, that looks good to me. And then we'll see if I go knight d7, maybe rook c5, king d7 maybe. I have king d7 right away too, but something about this move I don't like. I don't know what it is yet, but on the other hand it's interesting with the idea of playing bishop d6 instead of bishop e7. King d7, bishop takes f7, bishop d6. It looks as if black gets some kind of initiative here. So it does not look too stupid. After bishop takes f6, I will play rook takes c4. Bishop d6. We shall pin. It should be good, but I need to find out exactly why. So king d7, bishop takes f7, bishop d6, bishop takes f6, pawn takes f6, rook d5. Threatening my knight. Then a knight b5 or something might be okay for me. I also have bishop e7 here. Then after bishop d3, I don't see what move I will make. I can play king d7, but then I would like to play bishop d6 instead of bishop e7. Okay, I'm going to trust my intuition. Because it's a pretty open position, and the queens are off the board, so after bishop takes f7, bishop d6, bishop takes f6, it's a pretty serious decision for white to give up the bishop pair. He takes an f6 right away. Here I was intending to play rook takes c4. Then he has rook d5 maybe. Whoa. Maybe I blundered. It seems as if I blundered. Whoa. But okay, after rook takes c4, rook d5, king e6, rook takes d4, rook takes f6, pawn takes f6, bishop a3, king c2, king takes f6. It's not that clear because I have the bishop pair and he has weak pawns. But do I have anything better than this? Bishop... No, I don't really have any too good moves. Bishop d6, then rook d5 looks pretty strong. So I guess I have to take on c4. Go into a bad endgame. I have the move king c6, but I don't know if it makes any difference. But sure, it looks slightly better. Because I have to rook... Oh wait, I'm not taking back with the king then, and I get weak pawns myself. Is that important? I think so. Okay, I go king e6. Well, this is sadly losing, but what can I do? I'll have to try and fight on. I've held similar positions in the past. Yeah, I have to take here. Sure, I'll give a check. Take with a king or with a pawn? The king, I think. It's better. Rook a4, bishop c5 is not a problem, of course. It's tempting to play bishop c5 to try and harass his pieces a little. So let's do it. I don't see the problem with this move. I thought the rook would be a bit misplaced here. I was hoping for that at least. Because now I have ideas of bishop e6. Then trying to trap his rook on the second file. I have several moves here. I think bishop e6 is kind of tempting. Okay, I guess. He'll play rook a4, I think, and I'll play a5. King b2 is probably a good move for him, so that he's able to play rook e4 at any given point in time. Okay, it's when my opponent has two rooks, they are a bit redundant, so it's in his favor to trade off a pair of rooks, so I should aim to not trade. You could assume the same thing with the bishop pair, but it's a bit different, because one bishop controls the light squares and the other the dark squares. Okay, my opponent wants to play knight e4, I guess. How should I react to this? It's not that easy to find a good move for me, sadly. Because this is a very good idea by my opponent. How should I try and play? I'll go king g6, I guess. Yeah, the time situation is also very bad. I don't know what happened here. This is very strange. This is very bad. Terrible. It's dead lost, sadly. Unfortunately. And he starts threatening pawns, yeah? Okay, try and get at least one pawn. Try to push the pawns. I just plundered rook c4, wow, that's crazy. And I guess I have to keep pushing the pawns and hope for the best. And pray a little. I think the bishop is better placed here on e4. Then I'll play king e3 and try and push my pawn. So it's got very little counterplay, but some counterplay. King e3 with the idea of just pushing the pawn until it queens. Yeah, I'll keep on pushing. Bishop d5 seems necessary to play. Thinking d3 is necessary so I don't get mated. Play bishop e4, I guess. d2 maybe. d3. Yeah, now it's losing, yeah. Should have played king e3, but it wouldn't have made a big difference. A very important point, so this is awful. Yeah, I can take on f2 if you want. Yeah, it's very difficult to try and construct a stalemate here. I don't think it's possible, but didn't stop me from trying. Whatever, I can resign now. Terrible defeat. Very weak player, my opponent. I can't believe it. Such an unnecessary blunder. It's losing the game away. That's tough. That is tough. Was e4 bishop c4 the move here? I never remember. E4 queen a5 bishop d2 pawn takes b5. Bishop c4 seems simpler. But I think the move was actually e4, which was theory here. So, I've forgotten an incredible amount of theory during these games, which is not good. Okay, I guess I castle. Now e4 makes sense, of course. I'll take with a bishop, so that the pawn on e4 isn't hanging. e5 looks interesting. Then he might have knight g4, bishop g5. Knight takes d5, then I don't know. e5, bishop f4 maybe. e7 takes on c5. Trying to calculate if the move e5 works and knight g4 bishop. Maybe he has f6 then as well. Though he shouldn't have this move. So I fought queen a5, bishop e7. Rook e8, bishop takes c5, and I'm trying to evaluate this position. It's not so clear. e5, bishop g5. b6, I can take on d5. No, I can't really. Maybe queen b6. Okay, I guess I'll take on d5. I think queen b6 is annoying after bishop g5. Taking the open e file makes sense. Yeah, bishop f4 kind of makes sense, getting the bishop out and putting pressure on d6. Okay, bishop c6 seems pretty forced. And I want to try and generate some play, so I think this should be good for me, but who knows. Wait a minute. It gets a bit unclear. Because of the knight, b takes d5. Takes. I don't know, this is very unclear. a4, a5 is tempting, but I'm not sure if it works exactly. It's very tempting. Intuitively it should work. Knight takes d5, I have knight takes d5. Because of bishop takes c6, I have knight e7 check. I check on the king moves, knight take on c6, so I want to play a5 to chase his knight away. Though he has the c4 square for the knight, which isn't too bad, but then he's not putting pressure on d5 anymore. Hopefully I can play b3 here. Which I honestly probably can. I don't see how he can use the fact that my pieces are a bit exposed. b3, knight h5, bishop g5, followed by rook c1. Looks good enough. Knight takes d5, bishop takes d5 is good enough. Yes, bishop g5 makes a lot of sense. Queen c8 seems like the best move, but this is a move I want to see. So it's not a move I am concerned about, to put it that way. This move I missed, and it makes quite a lot of sense. It's very tempting to play knight e4 now, to be honest. Then claim that the dark squares are incredibly weak if he decides to take on a1. So knight e4 seems like a sensible move to me. Knight b5 looks kind of logical as well, with the same idea. Then after knight e4 there is f5, and I have to think about this kind of move, but it shouldn't be dangerous. And knight e4, f5, knight g3 takes. Though it's not that clear really. As I want it to be. I'll go for knight b5, I guess. Can pre-move taking a1. I have very good compensation for the exchange. Because the pawn on d6 might end up falling. Among other things. Bishop h6 is also an idea in many positions. I think he has to play knight e5. After which I will play knight takes e5 and queen takes e5, I think, and this should be very close to winning. Because after f6 I have queen e6 check. Can take on c6 in the meantime, but I don't see what he gains after I take back on c6. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm going to trust myself on that one. He plays knight e5, I can still take him. Then take with the queen. Then he has rook e8. I guess it's slightly unclear. Though the pawn on c6 should decide the game, to be honest. I think it's a very strong pawn because it's supported by the knight on b5 when I will play c7. And especially if many pieces are traded off after knight e5, knight takes e5, pawn takes e5, queen takes e5, rook fe8. It just seems as if I'm able to play c7 and the pawn just queens. I don't see how his queen is going to stop it. Maybe knight b6 makes sense, but then I have at the very least bishop h6 with the idea that after rook fe8 I can play g4. But he might have a little tactic there. Rook takes c1, knight takes c1, knight f6. It makes sense to push the pawn so that maybe I have to be a bit careful though. Okay, let's see. It's tempting to play g4, knight g7, bishop h6 and claim that I have a very strong attack. Maybe even bishop f6. Yeah, I like this idea. The knight on f3 is no longer defended, but I don't see how he can use that fact to his advantage. I like the idea of knight g7, bishop f6, knight e6, bishop h8, threatening to take on e6 followed by queen g7 checkmate. Though I also have bishop h6, f6, g5 ideas, but they don't look equally strong as bishop f6. He can play knight e8, but it's very passive after bishop c3. I also have bishop e7. The materialistic, it looks quite good because it also threatens mate actually, so I guess I'll go for it. Because now I not only have a good position, but I also have a material advantage. I can definitely take on d6, but I don't know if it's too greedy. It's probably okay, I don't see how he can punish me for being slightly greedy and also taking a pawn. I'm threatening both rooks. I have many tempting moves here. Queen f6 with the idea of bishop e5, then he'll play knight e5, queen e4, knight d f4, takes b8, knight d3. This doesn't seem that clear, but should be completely winning for me, of course. I'll just go for queen e5. Looks good to me. Though queen f6 would have been better if it works, but I don't know if it works. Though it should. Now I want to take one of the rooks next, depending on which one he moves. Okay, I guess I'll take it. It's not so convenient for him to recapture. I guess I'll take the open d file. He doesn't have knight takes a4, pawn takes a4, queen takes a4 due to knight c3. This move I missed, it's not so stupid because it threatens a few things at once. Now I have to be careful again. Ah, yikes. Unbelievable. Which move to make? Guess I'll prioritize this pawn. And then play queen g3. It's something I really don't want to do, but I think I have to. We'll play queen e4, I think. And I'll play rook e3 or something. And this move. Knight e5 is possible. I'll go rook e3, because after knight e5, knight e4 is annoying, but now I'm short on time again, yikes. I guess I want to play h4 to give my king some space. A very good move by him, sadly. Have to retreat passively, it seems. Something I really don't want to. I should maybe not have given away the g-pawn because my king is very weak now. I didn't realize how weak it would become. Now he's starting to make annoying threats, yeah. I don't know how well this move works. He has knight e2, which probably wins the game. Oh, I can take with a pawn! I completely forgot. Now I'm just dead lost. Incredible! How could I lose such a winning position? This is crazy! Yeah, and I lose in time as well, yeah. Yeah, I think we lost the match. Whoa, my losses were so important. No. We could actually lose the match only because of my losses. This is crazy. Okay, he's dead lost as black. That's terrible. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'll analyze the games. Even though they weren't interesting. Here I made a simple tactical oversight. Should have played bishop e7 and would have been better. After this it's not interesting. Next game. Okay, my opponent can't really play, so I just got a completely winning position. g4 was maybe unnecessary. I know bishop h6 was better. Then I'm winning here. And I completely forget about my opponent's ideas. So I should have played anything except for what I played. h3 is completely logical. And after that it's not that interesting. Let's see what the computer has to say about these two awful games. Okay, I'm running a report on both of them now. Wonder what the computer will say. Okay. Yeah, I guess g4 was a bit risky. I can already see that the computer didn't like it. Probably had something which was just winning. Yeah, it seems as if it's just a very bad opening and that white is much better here. Yeah, this is completely over. A position which white should never ever lose. Yeah, and suddenly it's very unclear. I had knight h4, of course, getting a very important tempi. I shouldn't have missed that one. Yeah, and then I blundered everything a couple of moves later. Terrible game. Terrible game. I'm going to have to add a lot of mistakes for that one. Next game, I guess. King d7 is just losing, because after bishop b7 it's clear that black is better. By how much I don't know, but better. And here I have to fight like crazy to get the draw. But it's nearly impossible, to be honest. I mean, it was kind of sharp at some point. Let's see how... Maybe it was just completely over. Yeah, it was just completely over. Terrible, terrible. Let's write the mistakes that I made. Okay, I didn't know what to do after rook e1. That's a mistake. And then I guess... in the second game, I didn't know what to do in the opening either, so that's another mistake. I can't really give any... I was too materialistic in the second game for sure. Couldn't find any plans either in either of the games. And I missed a lot of my opponent's ideas. Confidence was kind of shattered. I underestimated him because... I don't know. I stayed concentrated, but it didn't really help. Oh, come on. No, I did not control my emotions well. My time management was okay in the opening, not too good in the middle game. Can't really say anything about the end game. And I guess I didn't spend too much time at a time. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. And I hope you learned something.